And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Got a great one lined up for you. Now, a lot of people are going to have a case of butt hurt. So go find that YouTube channel that will help you get through this. Today's episode on XDC. I got my information from AI. I'm just saying this for slow, mentally retarded people because I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I didn't create a show to hype XDC. I'm just simply going to regurgitate what AI is telling me about XDC. I don't have a stake in XDC. I have a good amount, nothing crazy whatsoever. I don't even have it. I have a small amount, let's say. So I'm not here like, yeah, go XDC, yeah. I got like 20 cryptos. It's one of mine. It's not even, XDC is probably my 5th largest holding, and I don't even have big holdings, okay? I'm just giving this disclaimer about the show because there's going to be a lot of cases of butt hurt all around the whole entire world. I'm going to go over XDC on what AI, let me repeat, on what AI says it's going to be worth, not me. So, to all the dumbasses out there, you got a serious problem. I'm giving a disclaimer. Of course, you're not going to hear this part. Your little butts are going to be hurt because you're going to hear the other parts where XDC is probably going to be hitting a minimum of $1,100, okay? According to AI. So now that I've got that clear, there's still going to be dumb shits out there. Oh, this guy's high. All right, my name's Crypto Hulk, not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I'm just looking through the comments real quick. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Don't sell anything I tell you to sell. Before every show, me and Chucky, well, it's not quite. This is the weekend supervisor right here, but I can't bring him out until tomorrow, which is Saturday. That's my financial advisor. So here's Zoltar. Let me get Zoltar.
I see you over there. Yes, you. Come on over and let Zoltar be sharing with you your fortune.
That is Zoltar, the financial advisor of this show. If you've bought anything that I've said, it's because Zoltar told you to. I make these disclaimers. It looks great in court when I'm holding up toys and shit, when I'm telling you that really I'm super fucking high 24/7, and I have been for 5.5 years. Snorting cocaine, heroin, laundry detergent, jet fuel, drinking it, putting it in my cereal. I snort heroin, cocaine. I eat peyote, LSD, all kinds of, just constantly 24/7. So make sure you bring that to court with you and show the judge. And but Your Honor, I thought he really was a financial advisor. And the judge would be like, could somebody get this guy out of here? All right. Now, where did all this start, Crypto Hulk? Let's take a look at this article here. Citibank's involved in this. Oh man, this gets big. Now, I'm not a banking expert. I'm not a financial advisor. Isn't Citibank, don't they have something with Chase? Didn't Citibank do something with Chase Bank? And isn't like JP Morgan the world's largest bank hooked up with Chase or something? So we're kind of dealing with 1970 legend is what we're dealing with. We're kind of dealing with like the world's biggest bank, and we're dealing with the DTCC, Depository Trust Clearing Corporation. They only process $4 quadrillion a year. That's not a big deal. And there's a crypto that they're running on, which is XDC. That's not a big deal. We'll see that evidence here next. But let's focus on one piece of evidence at a time, because that's how I like to have is an evidence-based program. You've got Citibank and the DTCC. I want you want you to see what's going on here, because this is like bigger than anything. This is even bigger than Crypto Hulk's ego, okay? So that's got to be pretty big. Citibank and the DTCC say that tokenized, here we go, Crypto Hulk, what's the top 2 things we need to be rich? 1, global crypto laws. Every country's got to have them. They've got to have definitions on what's this in crypto, what's that in crypto. There's got to be all kinds of definitions. Then there's got to be global tokenization. Those 2 things, global crypto laws, global tokenization. Now, right now, so Citibank and the DTCC, we'll get into what is the DTCC here in a minute, say that tokenized collateral works. And now regulators must keep up pace. Everybody, I want you to see what's going on. We are on the preface. Crypto Hulk, stop using big words. We are on the verge. We've got the industry now pressuring the government to tokenize, to get these laws done, okay? Regulators must keep pace. Must, M-U-S-T, key word. As financial giants test cross-asset collateral. Oh, this is getting really big here. They say legal gaps, not tech, are the biggest threat to scale. Crypto Hulk, why are we not rich yet? Well, according to just the biggest banks in the world, not a big deal, and the DTCC, that's not a big deal. According to them, legal gaps are the problem. We're not rich yet, not tech. JP Morgan and the DTCC are saying the biggest threat to scale is because we don't have global crypto laws. Oh, shit. What have I been telling you? It's coming. The industry is pushing. Government's holding back. Okay, that's what I'm reading in the article. That's not an opinion. That's just what's in the article. Let's continue. Tokenized money and collateral are already crossing borders in live transactions, but regulatory gaps, the laws, remember, global crypto laws, global tokenization. I've been doing this fucking shit for like 2 years now. Like, no one's getting rich until we have global crypto laws, global tokenization. So don't worry, you got time to still keep buying crypto, but eventually, but regulatory gaps are slowing global adoption. Holler if you hear me. So regulatory gaps, the laws are slowing global adoption. Crypto Hulk, thanks for clearing up why we're not rich, okay? What I like to do is when I say something, give you guys facts. Crypto Hulk, why are we not rich yet? Well, I like to have a fact-based answer. And what we're seeing here is Citibank, which is tied to JP Morgan, the world's biggest bank. So we got the world's biggest banks and the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation. Who are they? They control the top 20 stock markets in the world, which is basically they control the whole entire world's trade. But to you, that's not a big deal. Those two bodies are telling us we don't have regulations. That's why we're all slow right now getting rich. So you got the world's biggest banks telling us this. Okay? It's not them. Somebody in government holding shit back. That's what we got going on. At SmartCon in New York, executives from Citibank, DTCC, and Taurus Taurus, I believe, uses Standard Chartered for custody, which is, you know it, the one and only Ripple said that their technology is ready. Oh my God, are you hearing me? Executives from Citibank, who's hooked up with, I think, with Chase and JP Morgan, and if not, Citibank's a massive bank anyway, global bank, and the DTCC and Taurus, that's working with Standard Chartered, which is working with Ripple, said, listen to this, everybody, their technology is ready, but laws across jurisdictions still don't align. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. So I want you to see what's going on, everybody. Everything's hooked up. I'm reading off to you what executives from some of the world's biggest banks are saying. The technology is ready. Oh, dang, Crypto Hulk, this is really starting to get real, isn't it? Well, according to the article, all I can do is read you off the article. I'm not fucking Zoltar. I can't read the fortune like he can. The banks are saying the laws across jurisdictions do not align. That means whatever laws they got in Brazil don't line up with Uruguay, which don't line up with Mexico, which don't line. See what I mean? Let's go back to what the fuck I've been telling you for 2 years now. Nobody's getting rich until we have global crypto regulation. People are like, fuck, Crypto Hawk, you're right. Dude, you've been saying that irritating shit for 2 years now. That shit is totally fucking right on. Okay? Global crypto regulations and then global tokenization. If you don't got those two things, fuck it. Don't get your moon boots packed in a suitcase or whatever it is. You ain't shit gonna happen until those two things happen, okay? Just letting you know. Without coordination on legal standards, the risk isn't just delay, it's fragmentation, conflicting rules, and systems that don't work together. Until we have global crypto regulations and global tokenization, ain't shit gonna happen. People are like, damn, Crypto Hulk, that shit's actually true. Okay, that's probably why I have a show. And that's for show. Here we go. Tokenizing collateral. Two things we need to be rich. Global crypto regulations and global tokenization. Let us continue. Tokenizing collateral, oh shit, and moving it instantly across borders is no longer a theory, it's happening. These are the only two things. When I'm telling you what, when we got those two, you and me are rich. We're just not sitting here listening to my hilarious jokes, okay? Tokenizing collateral and moving it instantly across borders is no longer a theory. It's happening. That's what the article says. But a panel discussion at the SmartCon conference in New York on Wednesday. Oh, it's in New York. That explains everything. They got communists there. Now they got all that crazy religious shit going on now. I don't mention names. It could be anything. But at a panel discussion at the SmartCon conference in communist New York on Wednesday, executives from Citibank, DTCC, and Taurus warned that while the technology has caught up, regulation has not. Oh, damn, that's what it is right there. They're telling you, everybody, getting everybody hooked up with technology, that could be an issue. But when that's all done, we just need Congress to pass something and then we're done. We need global passing, though. That's the key. Ryan Rugg. Now, that's a name for you. Ryan Rugg, R-U-G-G, Global Head of Digital Assets at Citi Treasury. and Trade Solutions said the bank's Citibank's tokenized cash system is live. Are you here? Holler if you hear me. Citibank's tokenized cash system is live in the United States, United Kingdom, Hong Kong, Singapore. You know about Ripple Hong Kong? I showed you that one. No one else did. Singapore, you know what? That's where it all started. Ripple Singapore. Has any other channel ever gone over that? Nope. Just Crypto Hulk Show. Thanks, Crypto Hulk, for keeping us all ahead of these other fucking twats. Known as City Token Services. The platform is already moving billions. Oh, they're already doing it, everybody. It's moving billions in real client transactions, supporting everything from supply chain payments to capital market settlements. Oh, interesting. Now I'm cherry picking the rest. Nadine Shakar, global head of digital assets. Okay, at the DTCC, echoed that view. Okay, stop. Now we're going to shift, Adam Shifty Shift. We're going to shift into the DTCC. What is it? Why is it important? Why the fuck are you talking about it, Crypto Hulk? Okay, let's get into it so I can teach the children. The DTCC, Nadine Shakar, not Chaka Khan. Here's the article here. Now it starts to get very real. We go from history professor Crypto Hulk to Crypto Hulk breaks down what the fuck is the DTCC. Something you need to know. DTCC, yeah, you know me. Wait, we got here. What? Caleb of. Now hold on a minute. Someone's dropping a little bit of cash here. Let's take a look. Caleb Kaufman joined YouTube 12 years ago. But Crypto Hulk, I'm not rich yet. How is this possible? Oh my God, these people. Okay, let me get back to this. Caleb, thank you very much. Sounds like he wants to be a $500 member. DTCC, Crypto Hulk, get back on track. The DTCC Project Ion. It processes 100,000 transactions per day. The DTCC has selected R3 Corda, that is XDC crypto. Now we're starting to bridge. Let's look at what is this? Wow, the computer is like really not working right here. Never fails. Whenever I have something important, you get some kind of communist government 3-letter agency tries fucking with my shit. Because these little fucking bastards know that I fucking know. That's why they do that shit. They do all kinds of shit to Crypto Hulk because once I lock onto something. Now, I'm not going to go too deep because these fuckers will definitely fuck the show up. But I can only show you guys so much. R3 Corda right here. R3 Corda network is going to go with XDC digital currency. So now we already know that. Let's get back to the DTCC. The DTCC is the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation. They have chosen the cryptocurrency, and this is the only one that they're talking about, okay? Now, you may have other whatever, what shows this crypto. Okay, I'm only talking about these articles here. I'm not going to discuss the probably 5 to 10 other cryptos that work with XDC. That's on another fucking show. So today, the topic is XDC, not 10 other fucking cryptos, okay? So everybody can stop it with the, well, they got to clear on Ripple, then they got to use Stellar, and they got to just, how about if you just shut the fuck up and get off the show and go watch some fucking Fudge Packer show on another channel, okay? Because this ain't the one. So today's topic is the XDC crypto, okay? We're not talking about 3 million cryptos today, dumbasses. We're going to stick with the crypto at hand. The crypto topic is XDC. That's all, moderators, I want to be hearing on today's show. I don't need to be hearing about the other 5 or 10 fucking cryptos that will assist R3. That's not the topic of the show today. So, moderators, let's keep the chat free and clear of all kinds of other dumb shit cryptos, because that's not the topic of today. Everybody wants to be a fucking hero, start talking about 10 other cryptos. I'm talking about R3 Corda's XDC today. That's the topic of the show. All right. Now, we've got the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, the premier. Who are they? The premier post-trade market infrastructure for the global financial services industry today. This is the biggest, the premier financial services infrastructure of today. Every derivatives, all that trading occurs on this platform. How much money is it? In the year 2025, which is this year, they project this platform will process $4 quadrillion worth of trading under XDC, okay? This is massive right here. We actually have the DTCC. You're looking at a DTCC website specifically calling out R3 Corda. And we know that the biggest crypto that's on that platform, according to that project, is XDC. Project, so they rolled out something called Project Ion. What the DTCC wanted to show is that this R3 Corda platform with the XDC works. They wanted to show Barclays, BNY Mellon, Charles Schwab, Citadel, Citibank, Credit Suisse, Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, the world's biggest bank, Morgan Stanley, Robinhood, State Street. They wanted to prove, they wanted these other banks to interact with the R3 Corda XDC. No other cryptocurrency is mentioned here. Okay. The DTCC wanted these listed banks. They're telling us this. Okay. They're putting it out there for the whole world to see. R3 Corda, which is XDC crypto, was involved in a project called Project Ion. These banks that I just listed were involved in this because they all want to test it and make sure this works, okay? This Project Ion, this new crypto project, is an alternative settlement platform. Here we go. So what is Project Ion? It's a crypto platform. It's a brand new crypto platform. It's built on R3 Corda. Oh, shit. And that uses the XDC crypto. Oh, man. Okay. This is an alternative settlement platform leveraging distributed ledger technology. Oh, shit. Monica has gone live in a parallel production. You know what? We're dealing with the old system of the DTCC. Got it? You've got the XRP ledger with the R3 Corda platform on top, because at one point, R3 Corda and Ripple were partners. Okay, they're utilizing and sharing the technology. They have this, in parallel production. This distributed ledger technology that we're talking about now, the crypto, has gone live. That is going on right. This is like 3 years ago, by the way. Oh, shit. I'm telling you, all this shit's already ready to go. This is ready to go. Has gone live in parallel production. What does that mean? It means the old system is still going, but this crypto system's going right now. It's going live parallel. It's already done. It works. All these banks that I just read off, they all gave this the okay. It works. It's done. We just got done reading in the previous article. We're just waiting on the laws. Because right here, this is fact-based programming right here. R3 Corda, which they mentioned specifically. The DTCC has selected R3 Corda, which is XDC. They're using a distributed ledger system. It went live 3 years ago. We're waiting on regulations. That's what the biggest banks in the world tell us. That's what the DTCC and Citibank, one of the top banks in the world, have just told us. This shit's already done. I don't know what the holdup is. It's the regulations, okay? Project Ion is now parallel processing. That means it's running alongside the old system at the same time now for 3 years. It's running 160,000 transactions on a peak day. So this system's already in works, everybody. It's going. DTCC is a private, permission distributed ledger technology platform. It was developed in collaboration with many of the world's leading participants. And I just named off all those banks. The world's top banks have already participated in this new platform, and it has already been running for 3 years. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. It's already running on XDC for 3 years. Now, they probably have a private ledger that we can't see. We don't know how much it's doing. The goal of Project Ion is to ultimately provide a resilient, secure, and scalable alternative settlement service. The leading enterprise technology provider, R3 Corda, to develop and launch the Project Ion platform, leveraging R3 Corda DLT software. Again, they were early partners from day one with Ripple, and the XDC crypto is what they use. Talks. Now I'm going to go to the end. With 45 years of experience, they have 21. The DTCC has 21 locations around the world. They work with the world's biggest stock market. So they're at the G20, the world's top 20 richest countries. That's where these DTCC processing centers are in. The headquarters locations. It provides custody. And the DTCC provides custody and asset servicing for security issues from 177 countries. So they help all the countries in the world, their securities and their trading, but they actually have 20 locations. Now let's get in to this. What we have here is a PDF. Now we're going to dig a little deeper into the DTCC. Okay, we're about halfway done. Here is a PDF. I'm going to go through this rather quickly so we can get it done. You have this is a speech. What we have here last year, I went over this. All this shit I've been going over for a couple of years now. What we have here is a speech. It was given during Congress, a session in Congress. The woman's name is Nadine Chakra. She works for the DTCC. And listen to they had a meeting. She testified before Congress. I want you guys to hear this. This is very, very massive. The title of her speech she gave Congress, How Tokenization of Real-World Assets Will Facilitate Efficient Markets. Are you hearing this? She's basically saying how crypto that's tokenized will run the stock markets of the world. I'm paraphrasing. How tokenized cryptocurrency will run the financial system of the world. That's the speech that she gave. I gave you this speech. You can read it for yourself. I'm going to cherry pick it. Go to the second paragraph. It says they have 20 locations around the world. Fourth paragraph. Additionally, such clearing agencies has been designated as systemically important. The DTCC has been determined to be systemically important to the entire world. That's how important this organization is. In 2023, they moved 3 quadrillion. This year, the number is going to be about $4 quadrillion. And every year that goes by, the numbers get bigger. This particular DTCC is controlled by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve Bank in New York, and the New York State Department of Finance. Listen to this. The DTC, we're still on the first page, last paragraph. The firm, which is DTCC, has been developing digital assets since 2016. Everybody, that's just about 10 years they've been making crypto. Just want to put that out there. There used to be a company called Securrency, Securrency. They bought that company. I remember hearing about Securrency, and all of a sudden one day it disappeared. That's because DTCC bought it. Oh. That's another rabbit trail I'm not going to get into. Next page, page 2. Look at the second paragraph. DTCC has been working to advance the tokenization of traditional financial assets for close to 10 years. That's what it says here. They've been working to advance tokenizing, meaning they're going to take traditional assets, turn them into crypto. They've been working on this for 10 years, according to this speech that this woman is giving to the Congress of the United States. She spoke before. She was giving sworn testimony before the United States House Committee on Financial Services, the Subcommittee on Digital Assets, Financial Technology, and Inclusion. That was June 5th, 2024. So they've been doing this shit for 10 years. Talks about interoperability on page 3 at the top. It's got to have an interoperable solution. We all know what that is. The interledger protocol that Ripple gave the internet in 2015. The article on page 4, go to like the second bullet point. Page 4 talks about Wisdom Tree. I looked it up. And then it talks about, right here, Stellar and Ethereum. Those are the other two that are mentioned. Stellar is all mixed up in this. So is Ethereum. Now let's go to the next. Now let's go to the deep dive. We got Project Ion here. let me go straight to where they start talking about the money. They got Project Lithium. Let me see. So they did a bunch of projects. The DTCC is involved in a lot of these projects. And I looked up each of these projects. The Digital Dollar Project is involved with the DTCC. Ripple's a part of that. So is a company called Accenture. They're a massive Ripple partner. So what we have is Ripple is involved in this project along with Stellar and Ethereum. Then you got Corda Hyperledger, which is Stellar. We're looking at Project Lithium right now. I'm just cherry picking this project. I'm not going to read it all. It would take me 2 hours to do the show to go through everything that I got. This project with the DTCC has strong ties to the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. And they have experience working with the CBDC. Deloitte's mixed up in this Project Lithium, and that's with Ripple. Deloitte's a massive Ripple partner. They were there with Ripple from like day one. Let me go to the next. There's a project called Project Spruce, SPRUCE, Spruce. So they were running these projects to try to make sure that banks, financial institutions, the government, it all works. Now, this Project Spruce, let's read this because we have the national, and I can't say security, and I can't say agency person involved in this. Now it goes up to the top levels of security real quick. Project Spruce is an internal DTCC initiative. So it doesn't have independent founders like a startup. However, the DTCC digital asset stems from Securrency, which was founded in 2015 by Dan Donnie. He used to work at the NSA and Deloitte. So we got David Schwartz from the NSA, don't we? And then we have Deloitte, massive Ripple party. See, all this is connected. All roads go back to Ripple. This is all government operation, everybody. When you hear the word Ripple, it's government. Project Spruce has like 5 Citibank executives that literally work for them. They quit and went to work for this project. This is all tied in with the world's biggest banks and the government. Like, just letting you know. Let's go to the next. Oh, shit. Okay. What we got here. Project Spruce was launched in, it uses a part of Composer X. There's something called Composer X. This is where it starts getting very interesting. I'm not going to pop up all the evidence here. Project Spruce is working with something called Composer X. It was launched in early 2025 this year. It's for smart contract creation, composability, running on Avalanche. There's another crypto there. Avalanche is $16 a piece. This runs on Avalanche. It's called Avalanche Spruce. Institutional test subnet. It's a permissioned Ethereum virtual machine. Oh, compatible blockchain designed for enterprise. I will bet you this is the Cosmo SDK, which is the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, because it starts talking about smart contracts. That's DAML, D-A-M-L. That's what this is right here. It's Ripple's. It's Cosmo SDK that Ripple got with Persist. Cosmo got with Tendermint, which is a government contractor. Cosmos got with Tendermint, and they made Cosmo SDK. Ripple came along with Persist and made it interoperable. And they used DAML, which is the smart contract language of Cosmo SDK. That's what this is right here. Very interesting. Composer X. That's DTCC's platform. It's called Composer X, which probably runs on top of the R3 Corda platform, which runs on top of the XRP ledger. That's just my belief. I have no idea. It's total guess. Avalanche helped him do this. Let me go to the next. Then there's some called Project Whitney. Launched around 2020. Project Whitney itself is not a crypto. It experimented with tokenizing assets. Chainlink is involved in Project Whitney. Right here, got him. Chainlink provided Oracle services for compliance and data feeds in Whitney's Ethereum-based prototype. Sergey Nazarov, who's the CEO, and Steve Ellis are involved in this. This is pretty big. So there's another crypto involved in all of this. It says XLM, which is Stellar, is going to be used for tokenization. And, oh, guess what? We got HBAR for governance. HBAR is involved in this project for governance. Okay, I was right. DTCC filed a patent. It supports Ethereum, HBAR, XRP, Cosmos. I knew it right there. Atom. Cosmos is Atom. And so if you got Cosmos, you got Cosmo SDK with the Tendermint, which is a government connection. Then you got Ripple coming in mixed up in this. Because it says Ripple's XRP is in this. And that's where the Ripple connection, the interoperability come from with the SDK with Ripple and connecting like all these blockchains. Tezos, which is XDC, is involved. BNB chain. We know Binance because Binance is running on all this Cosmo SDK Ripple. You got Tron. That's Justin Sun. Now, let's see. Let me check. 15 minutes left. Okay. We got Wisdom Tree here. That goes back a long ways. Wisdom Tree is an old school company. It goes back to 1988. I'm not going to really deep dive this thing. I looked up Wisdom Tree just to see connections. Chainlink got involved with Wisdom Tree. Yeah. BNY Mellon. So Chainlink's and everything. One of the $500 member people said to me, they called me and said, hey, Chainlink's down today. What's up? Da, da, da. And I'm just like, Chainlink's a part of everything. So if it's down, buy it. I mean, that's how I look at it. Chainlink's built into everything. So if it goes down, it just means dumb people are selling off. That gives you an opportunity to get it at a cheaper price. Let's get into the price now. Okay, my question was, so here's how we started off. I'm going to read off my query, and so that you know I'm not trying to manipulate the AI. I want you to hear the exact question that I asked. In 2025, this is what I'm telling Grok. In 2025, the DTCC is expected to process how many quadrillions of dollars in derivatives? So I'm asking Grok. I'm not telling Grok. I'm just asking Grok, how big is the derivatives? Grok answers, the DTCC is expected to process $4 quadrillion. Okay, straight from Grok, simple question, okay? So to all the dumb shits out there, shut the fuck up. To all the dumb shits out there, please don't talk because it's going to make you look really fucking stupid. Now, my next query that I gave Grok, on a daily basis, Grok, so we're talking hypothetical, what could be the highest daily process that could theoretically ever occur in processing in 2025? Grok comes back, the DTCC could theoretically process up to $20 trillion on a single day in 2025. There you go. We're talking theoretically possible, okay? Based on observed peak volumes across its subsidiaries during periods of high market volatility. Assuming simultaneous spikes in all asset classes and services without exceeding system risk controls or operational limits. So everything within normal, Grok saying it could safely, potentially hit 20 trillion just in one day. If something were to happen, you have a fluke. Because remember, you got to make sure you have enough crypto to make the shit work, right? So you got to have at least 20 trillion just to be safe. Okay. All so far, this is all reasonable. Nothing unreasonable here at all. Everything is totally factual and sound, and the questions are being given to you, and the responses from Grok are coming back. No kind of manipulating AI. All the dumb shits will say that because I didn't mention their little favorite crypto. Now they're all running around butt hurt with very sore booty holes. To handle the processing, here's what Grok says. After that, there's no more questions. It was just this is what he said. To handle the processing of the DTCC's expected volumes using XDC as the digital asset, we need to estimate the required XDC price based on token economics. This is a hypothetical scenario. As it assumes XDC facilitates all transactions. Okay, so we're acknowledging if this much volume happens and we're using XDC, then this is how much XDC needs to cost to facilitate these transactions. This is all totally legitimate research using Grok. So Grok answers here. Transaction volume equals market cap time velocity. We know we have a circulating supply of XDC of 17 billion right now. The other, I think, 20 billion is locked up. Grok gives me a chart, a theoretical peak daily flow, $20 million. With velocities, talking about a required market cap of 20 trillion. That's for the day. 20 trillion. Grok is saying right here, $1,100 per XDC. Now, for the yearly, Grok saying if that happened every day for a year, then XDC would have to cost $225,000. So if it happened just one day, like there was a fluke, here's what I'm trying to show you. If there's a fluke, and could XDC be yes? Oh, could XDC be less valuable than that? It could, theoretically, but it has to be, according to Grok, at least $1,100. Because what if you had a spike one day of $20 trillion? You've got that XDC's got to be worth $1,100, or you're going to shut down the world's financial system. That shit will not work. So what it appears to me, I'm being very careful and fair in what I say. It appears to me that what Grok is saying is that if XDC were to be used as the sole crypto for tokenization, we're not talking payments and shit, we're just talking about tokenization and all that, it's got to be $1,100. Because if some shit were to happen one day and it spikes, if it's not worth $1,100, it's not going to work. So we know that XDC has to be a minimum of $1,100. And Grok is showing us that if every day, let's just assume, maybe not today, but maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, we are trading at 20 trillion a day. And maybe that would mean then the price would have to be $225,000 for one XDC. This is theoretical, and it's possible. If we have a trading environment, maybe the world's population goes up to, I don't know, 10 billion people on the planet or something, right? So we got all these people working now, 1.5 times what we got. It could be hitting 20 trillion a day. And if that happens every day, guess what? That XDC needs to be $225,000. This is all very possible, given the right conditions. These are not like on planet Uranus, okay? I'm breaking this down, trying to make it as simple as I can. So those are the numbers right there. I totally agree with that. And I'm not deep into XDC. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't really care. I've got well under 60,000 XDC. So it's not like I got a fuck ton. So I'm not, one way or the other, I don't give a fuck. If XDC goes to 1,100 or 225,000, I don't care. I don't have a whole bunch. So it doesn't really fucking matter to me. So I'm not selling this so I can bump my XDC bags. I don't give a fuck. I got 10 times more money in Hedera than XDC. So I don't give a fuck what one way or the other what happens with this XDC shit, okay? 1970 legend. I hope Grok is 10% correct. So let's examine this for the remaining 7 minutes of the show. Grok was given an open-ended question. He answered. We know that this year trading, and these are all things you can check out for yourself. It's very simple. I'm making this as simple as I can. The DTCC should process approximately $4 quadrillion this year. Okay, that's whether it's 3.7, 3.9, 4.1. It doesn't fuck up. It's all the same thing. Okay, so we'll make the math easy. 4 quadrillion. And if you divide that by 365 days a year, it comes out to around 10 quadrillion, roughly, okay? I'm sorry, 20 quadrillion, according to Grok. On a peak day, it could potentially hit 20 trillion. But what is it now? I don't know, maybe 10 to 13 trillion maybe or something. Okay, but what we're asking Grok is if it peaks, because the XDC can't be a certain price, Because if it peaks, guess what? It's not working. Got it? Okay, trying to make this as easy as we can. So let's just assume we got, on the worst day, $20 trillion. Things just really happen. People are trading all around the world. The DTCC is bumping, and it hits 20 trillion in one day. Guess what? You got to make sure every day that 20 trillion in trade. Now let's go forward some years. The value of things go up. People keep making babies. We got more people in the economy, more people working, more money, more buying, more selling, more trading. Now we've got 20 trillion a day. That peak that could hit now is every day. That's the standard, right? Every day. Now XDC is at $225,000. All this is totally reasonable. I don't doubt this at all. It potentially could happen. Not tomorrow, but given 5-10 years from now, 15, 20 people making babies and shit or whatever, and you got all these people working, and we drill and we find more value. And okay, so I mean, think of the world 20 years ago. What was a DTCC doing 20 years ago? Probably not even a quadrillion. Like, do the math. Just look. This isn't difficult shit. You don't need science or economic degrees for this. Do a Grok search right now. Grok, 30 years ago, what did the DTCC how much did DTCC process? Somebody look it up and give us the answer. Then what we can do is go from right now, 30 years forward, and tell you exactly what that's going to be, okay? But that's how we look. So it very well could be $225,000 if those conditions of $20 trillion a day are there. So these are just, it's theoretical and they're hypothetical as well. So with that, now, lastly, some people say, well, they can keep printing, more XDC. Well, there's always a way they could just stop. Number one, the XDC Foundation could just close down, close shop, and be done with it, okay? That could be one. I don't know if anybody else can take over the job and create more, but let's say they can, okay? Still not a big deal. XDC can only process 2,000 transactions per second. That's as fast as it's going. So these prices are all based on the transaction limits of XDC. So even if you made 10 gazillion, quadrillion, gajillion, concillion, it doesn't matter how many you have. The platform can only process what it can do. That's it. So some people are like, oh, well, they could just make more and dump the price. No, the only thing that dumps is your IQ, okay? So for the slow mentally challenged people that are watching, this platform of XDC can only process so much at a time. It doesn't matter how many you have. You could have 300 gazillion gigawatts worth. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. The platform can only process so many at a time. So given that 2 seconds, it's not going to get faster. It can only do 2,000. That's how you got those prices of 1,100 and 225,000 with a 20 trillion. It doesn't matter how many of these cryptos are around. It's how much can get processed at a time. Now, if it could process 100,000 a second, then we have a problem, okay? But it can't. It can only do to 2,000. So that keeps the price. And as it burns, as a burn mechanism in there, that's why just like Ethereum. With Ethereum, you can just keep making them, correct? Correct. So that's the problem with Ethereum, is they can keep making Ethereums. XDC, they can keep making them. If people out there say, well, they can keep making them, well, yeah, that's great and all, but Oh, check it out. 1970 legend comes back with the facts right here. 30 years ago, the DTCC processed 41 trillion. That's nothing. This is why I'm showing you right here. This is why Crypto Hulk was giving you the easy math shit to understand. 1970 legend looks this up. 30 years ago, like I said, the DTCC, and he's saying 41 trillion. Nowadays, it's 4 quadrillion. Well, wait a second, Crypto Hulk. And that means 30 years from now, do you know how many times this is? 41 trillion compared to 4 quadrillion. We're looking at like 40 times bigger. So what? It's a Hulk trillion. Ian Krause says that's a Hulk trillion. So if 30 years ago, the DTCC only did 41 trillion, and now it's 4 quadrillion, what do you think it's going to be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Do the search. 1970 legend. Do a search. Go into wherever you got that and say, what is the expected DTCC processing 5 years from today? If today's 4 quadrillion roughly, where does Grok or whatever see it 5 years from today? Thank you for that tax-free donation. This is what I'm showing you right here. What's going to make XDC, look, they can only process 2,000, I think it's every 2 seconds or something like that, right? Oh, wait. Okay, Shah Iskander, he's a $500 member. Shah Iskander shows 97 times from 41 trillion. In 30 years, holy shit. In 30 years, the DTCC is now processing 100 times more than it did 30 years ago. It did a 100x in 30 years. Now it doesn't start to look so crazy, does it? When Crypto Hulk starts showing you this, and you guys are verifying it right here. I'm not paying people to do this shit. You guys are coming up with the numbers. What if 30 years from today, it's $400 quadrillion? Oh. Do you know how expensive XDC would be? It wouldn't be 225,000. It might be like $500,000, $1 million. Grok is thinking, says 1970 legend. 4 quadrillion is 100 times 400 trillion. Damn. See, these numbers are fucking huge. So what I'm showing you is we did a Grok search. We asked open-ended questions. I read off the exact questions I was asking Grok, so we know that I'm not trying to manipulate anything. The dumb people will say this because they don't own XTC. Okay, 1970 legend says $5.5 quadrillion in the next 5 years. Okay. Ian Krause says, just think, someday in the future, people will be watching this and saying, what the fuck? My God, these people were brilliant. Look, this is not, I don't think this is really brilliant. It's just common sense, okay? There's not, we're doing simple math here. I'm not even, I flunked. Hey, to get through college, I'll just admit it. I cheated in statistics class. I had somebody during the class somebody that I knew that was close to me took statistics. Now, don't cheat in statistics class. But on all the tests and quizzes, now we sat in the back left corner of the classroom, so the teacher couldn't see the instructor. It was community college, by the way. When we had a quiz, and we'd sit with our left side against the wall. So this person would write the answer down and then pass it back. I'd reach forward with my left hand under this person's left elbow to grab the note and to write the answer down to my paper. I passed statistics. I got a B. Because the first time I took statistics, I flunked. And then I had to, I don't want to say bribe, lobby. I had to lobby somebody that I knew. I had to lobby them to take the class with me and pass the answers back to me. So that's how I passed and got a college degree. Now, I did that because I had a daughter that was getting ready to be born, and daddy has to make fucking money to support the family. So that's how I justified cheating is I have a little girl that needs baby clothes and stuff and health insurance and shit, and daddy will provide it. So that's what we got with XDC. Those are the numbers. As the economy keeps growing, the likelihood of seeing a $225,000 XDC becomes very likely. 5 years, 10 years at the most. I don't know. I'd have to sit down. We'd have to do the numbers because I don't really give a fuck. This is good enough. If it just hits 1,100, that's brilliant right there. Fine. Okay. But that's what we came up with the XDC. I told you the numbers. You can kind of figure that out yourself. Some of you guys are really good at math and statistics. You could look at the numbers I provided and kind of guess what the crypto would be worth. So is it a cheating when the whole thing was fake? Okay, there we go with that. We're done. The XDC is over. I didn't want to focus the whole show on price. I wanted to show you real world use case, how the XDC would get its price, the value of stuff to be tokenized, which are all the derivatives in the world. Then at the very end of the show, we get into price. And that's kind of like where I want to keep that. So there you have it with that. There's your deep dive, and I'll see you on my next broadcast.